Nick here. Just want to do a brief video on Solar Analytics for Power BI and how powerful this really is, and really companies should be using this, um, or at least some form of this. I know a lot of times in construction and solar and these companies just don't feel like it's necessary. They don't see value in finance or numbers, and that's just not the case. So here I'll kind of deep dive into this whole thing. Uh, we'll use in this example, we have 32 sales reps. This is their dashboard. I chose 450 jobs, and here is the average price of those jobs, $40,370. Total kilowatts, 7,823. Total revenue, 18.1 million. Not a bad start. Um, and then, of course, breakdown by lender. All of this is dynamic, as well as showing the geolocation or the GIS tag inside Microsoft Azure using those zip codes for those sales, and as well as the sales by month. And if you were to click on anything, it's all dynamic. So if I click on Sunlight Financial or Mosaic, it will show what they did for that month and the amount that was sold for the revenue specific to that month. I mean, specific to that bank. So of course, Mosaic 64 jobs sold. If I were to click on Sunlight Financial, 98 jobs sold, the amount of revenue, the amount of kilowatts, and then the average price, of course. And then you can see what's most, well, in my mind, what's important as well is, the sales, who is using what banks are most prominent. Um, Here is GoodLeap being used, month of January 11th, December 4. Of course, correlation, typically in winter months you sell less. So, and then of course you can break it down even further by going into individual sales reps and see how they're doing. Brooks only sold 6 jobs for the entire year. Not so great, right? Like you'd say, what are you doing? Um, then if you want to go even further, you have somebody like Riley Smith, um, who sold 6 jobs um, for the entire time within GoodLeap. So if I click off, 22, Aiden Smith sold 16, Amelia Gray sold 8, so on and so forth. And these are all great numbers to see. And then if you want to just look at January, you see how these auto update with the corresponding numbers. So here you would see that, well, one, Sunlight Financial and what looks to be GoodLeap, they sold the most for this month. So those is what was currently being used. And then not far behind um, was Sonova. So of course you can see the jobs sold for that month, and then same for all of this. So if we go further, we can even go into clicking a specific zip code, which if you just want to look and see, let's click out of this for a second and then actually dive into it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you pick on certain ones, you can see jobs sold, um, a job sold for this zip code. If you want to see your target area, that's fine. And of course, you'll see more as you kind of go further and further into this whole thing. And then let's click out of it, and then let's do something a little bit bigger. Let's go into a deep dive into the sales org itself and see how everyone is doing. So here we have the list of sales reps, the months, the lending percentage, the average kilowatts for that. So if we were to click on Henry Long, sold 22, Riley Smith sold 22, right? Then you can actually see the average kilowatt system size sold. So you have 15.92 for Riley Smith. Henry Long sold actually a little bit more, um, of 17.8. And then as you go through, you can even click on individual months and see like how everyone did. So January, you see that Benjamin actually sold the most, but kind of fell off throughout the year. And if I click on lending percentage, loans, 86%, but if I click on the entire year, we all know that leases currently right now are actually selling quite a lot. So it'd probably be more of a 50-50 split. Um, and then yeah, this is really what it's about, is kind of going in. And if you want to look at a specific month, let's say it's January, and then you just don't want to look at anybody that has less than 10, you can kind of see what's going on. Or if you want to do the exact opposite, you don't want to see anybody that's got only one job sold for that month, and you just want to see everything else, you can't. pretty powerful stuff. Um, I just really noticed that a lot of people aren't using this. So, food for thought on this. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks a lot, guys.